Hello everyone. So this is Amma once again to bring the manna, a piece of obedience to my father. Second manna in obedience to him, other than the videos that I'm doing with my mom as mother and daughter duo. So these are also a few other video that God has led me to take as a manna offering to him. So I believe whatever God is teaching me, I'm in that boat that I don't want to keep to myself, but share it with my circle of friends, and it just might be a reminder and a piece of blessing and an added on blessing to your cup of life and whatever you're doing. So yeah, so something I was strongly feeling is that let's use our source of time wisely. And how do we do that? Let's read the right things in times like quarantine, the times where we are actually surrounded with so much. I know we are blessed with ample of time, but that's where I think the testing comes. How well are we using it? And even if we feel that it is productive, but is it really productive? So something that really shook me to do in this season is to really read the word. And if I'm saying the word, it is not somebody else's cooked food that I will eat in place of the living word, but actually literally read the living word of God. It's nothing can take the place of this. Nothing should take the place of the word. So we can learn from a lot of other books, but I think we should never forget to give those the places of the word itself. So that's number one thing, because from Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 it says, right, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. So we can gain knowledge from news, we can gain knowledge from magazines or internet, and there's ample of source of information, and there's a bhandar of knowledge that is for us. But is it truly the rightful knowledge? Is it truly the more than rightful? Is it the knowledge that is filled with life in it? Is it really nurturing me? And am I stewarding my time well in reading that amount of information that could have been given to the source, where it actually fills me with his true living life? Because Jesus lives in the word and the word is found in him. So true living Jesus, if you want to meet him daily, if you want to talk to him daily, it's basically opening him, and that is the word of God. So with that, let's really use our time wisely. So second piece of thought is somewhere where God really spoke to my heart is the difference between good and godly. The difference between it's okay to do, there's something, it doesn't look like a big mistake or a blunder or a sin, but probably is it really God ordained, especially for us, for God, when he has chosen us to this time, where he has gifted us to use it wisely. So let's make decisions that is more God ordained than just sounding good. Let's take up decisions to make it all about God instead of just sounding I made a good choice. So I think we are in the time where we make a God-driven choice instead of making our self-motivated, self-driven choices. That might be good to a lot of even others. It might be even good to our self-understanding. But let's really test our heart in this time. Let's test what we are doing. It's somewhere deep down. I'm not comparing it's sinning, okay? It's nothing to do with a blunder against God. It's nothing bad. But that is my season, because God has been too intentional about tiny details of my 24/7. So let's be intentional of doing everything that is God driven instead of me driven. Let's be God driven than good driven. So I hope it made sense to you. From there, I would also like to read from First Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 1, where it says, Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census of Israel. So David said to Joab and the commanders of the troop, go and count the Israelites from Beersheba to Dan. So basically what David started doing is that he started doing a counting upon the Israelites, right? So what it says even in the, over here is that it was very clear that it starts with Satan rose up against Israel and incited David. So the enemy can rise up against anything, and it can incite us still, even if we are so close to God. Wasn't David so close to God? Yes, he was. Wasn't he doing so many good things for God? Yes, he was. But wasn't he fallen under by being incited by Satan? Yes, he was. Was there something big blunder in taking up the census? Not really, because it was nothing wrong. That didn't have any kind of impact that is harmful. But was it really God? Not at all, because it was something to do with his pride, where he wanted to gain back the attention to himself, where it was more about the attention that would come to himself and his strength, that he has done a great job and he could do this. And that is how the enemy works even till date. The enemy would come with small whispers. It's in the form of motives. It's in the form of ideas. It's in the form of anything to, make ourselves feel better. It's okay to feel good and better, but is it really crossing the boundary of something where we could have dependent on God? Because in this story it was all about, even if you read the entire chapter, that why it was a big sin and why the enemy is doing this is because David lost the track, that he had to depend on God, which he couldn't, and which he lost the track of, and he depended on himself. He depended on his own army. And it was very clearly mentioned that it was basically his pride. It was the slyest, thought that, okay, I am good at it, so the entire army would be praised because I get to do this. So I think somewhere deep down, we all end up opening small doors to the enemy, and then we end up thinking there was nothing wrong that I have done. So let's really be conscious of making an effort to see which is from God and which is not from God. Even if it looks good, is it really from God? Is it really needed? And is it somewhere to do with my own self-motivation at the place of exalting God, where I can trust God? So I think we need to put our strength in Him. In a tiniest motives, the enemy can be entered and can be entertained. We can let him enter our spaces and we can entertain him. So let's be really, really attentive and high on alert to make choices that pleases God in this season. To read stuff that he would be pleased with, to build up our knowledge and understanding and information that would touch his heart more than any person's heart, more than even my own heart. So I have begun to do things that is more than more than revolving around about me, but let it revolve around Jesus. So yeah, let this quarantine be about Jesus. So Manna too, let this bless you and God give you his insight, and let not the enemy incite you. Yeah. God bless you. Love you all.